Okay, this problem we have 25 liters of full 4 molar hydrochloric acid, HCl is hydrochloric acid, and we need to make a 1.2 molar concentration hydrochloric acid. And we're going to do that by mixing 0.5 molar mixture into the higher concentration of 4 molar. Okay, so it's going to look like this. We can work out an equation based on the total amount of acid. So the only thing that I don't know in this problem is what I'm going to call X. I'm going to say that X is how much 0.5 molar hydrochloric acid you need. So X equals the volume of 0.5 molar HCl. Okay, so then I need to come up with the equation to count for X. And we can do it this way. I can say that the total amount of acid from the 4 molar is going to look like this. I'm going to just color code this. So the total amount of acid I can calculate as 4 molar times 25 liters. Okay, and maybe I'll keep my units in here so I can see what's going on. So I have 4 molar times 25 liters gives me the total amount of hydrochloric acid from the 4 molar. Now to this I'm going to add in the 0.5 molar mixture. Okay, so I have 0.5. And to do that, I'm just going to say, well, it's going to be 0.5 molar times a volume of X liters, which we are trying to figure out. Okay, so X is our variable, that's just liters. And when I do this calculation, I'm going to end up with a 1.2 molar mixture. And that is going to be the concentration, but to get the actual amount of acid, I need to multiply that by the volume, which is going to be, part of it's from the 25 liters, and the other part of it's going to be from the unknown amount of liters. Okay, so there's my equation. I'm just going to do this without the units now. So I get 100 plus 0.5x, and that's going to be equal to 1.2 times 25 liters. That's going to give me 30 plus 1.2 x. Okay, and then I can solve for the x. Here I get 70 on this side. I'm going to subtract 30 from both sides. So I get 70 on this side. I'm going to subtract 0.5 from both sides. I get 0.7. Divide both sides by 0.7. Now I'm going to get 70 divided by 0.7 works out to be 100. And so that is the liters, the volume of 0.5 molar HCl. So there's my solution. In example 5, this one's going to involve, in the end, we're going to end up with a quadratic equation, which we really haven't had a lot of experience solving, but I'll show you how to solve it. The main thing is to be able to set up the problem. So we have Ryan and Samantha. So I'm just going to color code this here, Ryan and Samantha. And they paint houses. Samantha works a little bit slower, so it takes her 2 more days to paint a house. Together, they're able to finish one house in 1.875 days. Okay, so what's unknown here is the time it takes for Ryan to finish a house and time it takes for Samantha to finish a house. Now, I'm going to set my variables up this way. I'm going to let x equal number of days for Ryan to paint one house. Okay, and then we don't need a separate variable. We can just say that x plus 2 days, 2 more days, equals the number of days for Samantha. Okay, now how do I set up a problem? The problem is I can't just add these together, okay? Because these are just days and I just get days. And if I add these two up, I'm not going to add them up to get 1.875 days because already that's bigger than 2. So just by numbers, it doesn't make sense. What can I actually add together for a problem like this? And what I can add together is I'm going to add the rates. Okay, so I'm going to add rates. Okay, to add rates, I need a rate. And the rate I'm going to use is, for Ryan, I'm going to say that he can paint one house in X days. And for Samantha, she can paint one house in X plus 2 days. Okay, well, if I have their rates, I can add the rates together, and the rate that they're going to get together is one house in 1.875 days. So this is what my equation is going to look like. My equation is going to be one house for X days plus one house in X plus 2 days, and that's going to equal the total rate, which is one house in 1.875 days. So that's 1.875 days. Okay, so there's my equation. I only have one variable to solve for. So in this case here, I'm going to first of all make this a little bit neater looking. 1 over 1 plus x, 1 over x plus 2. We kind of need a fraction here, so 1 over 1.875. If I put this into fraction form, this is going to be 8 over 15. Okay, so that's what that looks like as a fraction, and maybe I'll just highlight that so that you can see where that came from. Okay, and then to solve this, I'm just going to get a common denominator. I'm going to get x plus 2 times both top and bottom by x plus 2 on the left, and I'm going to times top and bottom by x on the right, and my common denominator is going to be x times x plus 2, and that's going to be equal to 8 over 15. Okay, simplifying this becomes 2x plus 2 over x times x plus 2. Now I can just cross multiply. Now before I cross multiply, I'm just going to simplify this. I'm going to simplify this fraction here into, I'm going to maybe do it down here, x plus 1 over, I'm going to multiply this out, x squared plus 2x, and that's equal to 4 over 15. Okay, so I just reduced the numerator by a factor of 2. Okay, so then I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to cross multiply this to get 15x plus 15 is equal to 4x squared plus 8x. So this is my equation for x. Now this is what we call a quadratic equation. And we're going to solve this quadratic equation this way. So first of all, I'm going to make it equal to 0. and I get that. And to solve this, we're going to factor. So if you recall factoring, I'm going to factor that. So I'm going to use my little box to factor that. So I have 4x squared, negative 15. I multiply those together to get negative 60. So I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 60 and add to negative 7. That's going to be negative 12 and positive 5. Factor my common factors here. So I get 4x plus 5, x minus 3. So this equation looks like this. 0 is equal to 4x plus 5 times x minus 3. Now, why would I do this? Well, since it's equal to 0, one of these factors has to be 0. Now I can get solutions from here now. The x that makes that equal to 0 is going to be x equals 5 over 4, negative 5 over 4. Well, since x is days, we can kind of say, well, maybe that doesn't work, so we're just going to not consider that solution. But this solution is perfectly fine. X is equal to 3 days. Okay, so it takes Ryan 3 days to finish a house. It takes Samantha 5 days to finish a house. Okay, so that's going to be my answer. This is going to be 3 days for Ryan, 5 days for Samantha. And together, when I add those together, I'm going to get 8 over 15. That means 8 houses in 15 days, or one house in 1.875 days.